What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am here. Oh, well, wait a minute. Let me check my wig, honey. Somebody got mad on one of them little Bravo RHOA because I said something bad about they beloved Kenya, honey. Talking about your wigs be looking like somebody can just knock it on off your head. Them Dolly Parton ass wigs. I want to say, well, thank you, honey. Well, thank you, sugar, because I am a big fan of Dolly Parton. So if you're watching this, thank you so much, hater. Anyway, getting on with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, part 1 of the season 10 reunion. I shall say that some reads were given and shade thrown, like a whole damn bushel of shade, okay? Again, as I will say, I always believe in giving props where props is due. Kenya Moore, she wins it hands down for the shade she threw and the read she read to Marlo Hampton, even though Marlo got in some good digs on her. Although, quite frankly, a lot of it was true. But anywho, let's talk about the fashions. So you had Kenya, Cynthia, and Portia all on one side. And then you had Nene, Sheree, and Candy. Wait a minute, maybe. Where was Candy? Where was Candy's? I don't remember. But either way, and they were in a Spanish villa. Okay, here's the deal. When they showed the pictures and stills, I was like, oh, what is going on? But now I know it was a Spanish villa theme. So most people came dressed, particularly Kenya and Cynthia came dressed for the theme. I'm not sure, but I didn't like Kenya's look per se because it just looked like her breasts were going to pop out at any given moment. And my thing is, since your husband don't like for you to wear certain things, I was really surprised you were out wearing that, showing off all your goodies. But then again, I don't think he's really concerned about that at this stage of the game. So I think that best of fashions to me would be number 1, Candy, number 2, Nene, number 3, Portia, because I really don't feel velvet. The whole time I was looking at her, I love the color purple. I loved her like makeup, the glam squad that she has done an awesome, amazing job. But that dress, I just wasn't feeling it, and I felt hot the whole time looking at it. Nene had an outfit on reminiscent of Dancing with the Stars. It wasn't bad. I liked it. I thought it was cute. I didn't care for Sheree's look. I don't care if it's Gucci or whatever. It cheapened the look with the belt and that name around that satin or silk or whatever it was. It wasn't cute. Cynthia, in the end, I do like her look. At first, I didn't. I said it looked like she ready for Cinco de Mayo's Ballet Folklorica. But yes, she is because they are Castilian. They are in the Spanish villa. So that was cute. I thought Marlo looked cute. Next week, we will see Eva. She's keeping it simple because Eva is due any day now. And at that time, she was probably ready to have that baby then. And I really do hope that they do give her a peach to replace Sheree. As you know, reports have been circulating that Sheree's contract, they optioned not to renew it. Which, yeah, she was fired technically. But who knows, she might still be a friend of the show. One of the things I was suggesting for Sheree, which seemed to come up in this episode, because Andy keeps staying digging about that She by Sheree. But it did come up if she was ever going to be doing a line of fashion, and she looked like her and Kenya, those two, because they lie so much, when they get caught off guard, they can't really come up with a good one, so they search for things in their hair like, oh yeah, at September for spring, fall. Okay, that's true. Now in the fashion world, y'all, I will say this, that whenever a retailer or whatever is designing or making fashions, if you notice in November, December, what she's talking about is people are already buying the things from the fashion manufacturers like in September for spring, summer. That's what she's talking about. That's fashion and merchandising 101. So I got that, but then I'm like, Sheree, I really hope so, because for me, because now she will not be on Real Housewives of Atlanta any longer, or possibly not, she won't be a peach holder, that's for sure. But I feel like financially, you've made some moves that are a bit reckless and careless. I could be wrong. We don't know what that woman has in her pocket, but we've seen some struggles, so and some rumors. So I don't know. I don't know if Tyrone is footing the bill on the low. I don't know if the feds are looking at her, and maybe that's why Bravo decided not to involve her, because no one wants to deal with the feds looking up their ass. Who knows what Bravo executives got going on over there? I think she should do a jogger line, because she says she goes for comfort a lot. Although that shows the change of tune from what she had from the first season, because she's the it girl and I know fashion and Nene is nothing. Funny, everybody wants Nene to come back all the time. Just saying, Sheree. Portia was saying how you really don't have a storyline. You really kind of just stay quiet and then collect what you want to collect. And she was saying that she has now registered her bone carrier, bone collector, whatever it is now an LLC, so she gonna capitalize on that in some form of fashion. And she was saying, I do it to keep all these girls accountable. Who made you the judge and jury of the group? Okay, you trying to keep everybody honest, but you can't be honest about the legitimacy of your life at times. I do think, Sheree, that you should pursue this fashion athletic line and also add on to that a fitness video as well. I think that would be the way to go. Also, because you have this luxurious mansion, I assume it's somewhere in Buckhead or Alpharetta somewhere, I would say that you need to consider Airbnb. You have a luxurious spa getaway. I know you don't want strange people in your house, but when push comes to shove, that may be something you want to think about doing. By the way, if you all follow her on Instagram, after the reunion, Sheree was nice enough to post us a video of her hanging out in her sauna in her house in her basement. And she says she is unbothered. However, based upon you just posting that, you are bothered. And I would be too when I know I ain't got no check coming in for the next year to finish paying all these lines of credit I got for making a man cave in a sauna and all of this. So there you go. Whereas Kenya put in, built a man cave with no man and had a fashion show with no fashions. My friend Tara, who is crazy, she says she was wondering if Dwight Eubanks would be coming back to do the fashion show for the She by Sheree Fabletics or whatever it's going to be called line. When I opened up for the episode, because I was running late. By the way, if this is your first time at this channel, and then subscribe, thumbs up this video. Please, help a diva out, because you know YouTube is on some bullshit. And also, let me just take a pause and say, I don't know if anyone died other than the shooter, but YouTube headquarters. God bless you all. If you need to go see somebody, because that could be a very traumatic event to see people that you work with every day be gunned down by someone who's unhappy with the policy changes. You don't make policy changes by harming others. You make policy changes by boycotts, which is a way to economically starve someone. YouTube, I do think, is wrong for how they handle things and their arbitrary censorship of things. But all we can do is continue to use the platform until somebody gets smarter and wiser and create a better platform. Sending prayers to the to the family and friends of those who were affected by this. But in the meantime, in between time, help a diva out. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers as quickly as possible. Some of you have been wonderful. I thank you. There was a young man on Instagram who said, I don't even have to really look at it. I'm just going to subscribe because I want to see you win. So perhaps he does watch my stuff or just follow me on Instagram and like my inspirational posts and fashion posts, but I appreciate that. And that's the kind of supporters I need. But back to the topic at hand. When we open up, there was questions about what's going on with everybody. That flashback of the housewives that have been there the longest, I mean, you can see the evolution of Nene is, whew, what a difference money will make. Sheree, I think they showed Kandi. I think out of everyone, Kandi and Portia are the two better looking. I mean, the two that pretty much look the same. The wigs might have improved and the bodies might have improved, but other than that, I think those two still looked about the same. Kenya is playing coy on the sofa about all of her business. She claims that they are expecting, but she did not per se say that she was pregnant. Although looking at the boobage, it looks like her mammary glands overfloweth. But based upon what I was picking up and the signals she was giving, either Mark had told her, don't you go on there and tell them our business, or don't you go up there and make up some story about us having a baby. I'm thinking surrogate is what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. She was kind of coy with it. I like how Andy also was asking her, like, you're on a reality show. Why would you not, let people know that you were getting married? Because this is part of what you do. This is part of your job. And she was like, well, when he got on his knee and asked to marry me, I wasn't even thinking about that. And so, people were asking, why was Cynthia not invited to her wedding? What she said was horrible. By this time, Marlo was on the sofa, so I'm trying to wrap up Kenya's whole storyline with regards to the marriage. And I also like how Andy brought up the fact, and Portia, all of them were like, you said some pretty nasty things about people and how they handled their marriages and relationships. But now that it's you, it's like, oh no, I can't talk about it. Oh my God, my husband. Better not nobody say nothing bad about my husband. Well, nobody wants you to talk bad about their husband either, Kenya. So, you get back what you serve out. So it's like a boomerang effect. Karma has no expiration date. Also, we learned that Kenya has not met her husband's parents. Now, my thing is that would not be unusual if he is estranged from his parents. Maybe they don't get along. Maybe they had a family falling out. I don't know, but she claims to have met them over the phone. That's when everybody started giving the side eye, like, do you hear this bullshit dripping out her mouth? I'm just like, she said, my dad wasn't, his parents weren't there. And then she talking about, well, they asked her, why haven't you met them? And that's when my bullshit meter just went off. Because she was like, well, because they live in another state. Okay, y'all can fly and go back and forth any and everywhere else you want to go. You can't fly in to visit his family. Okay, they were on a cruise while y'all were getting married. Okay. Either they didn't want to come and have anything to do with you because they know about you, even though you claim that he don't watch the show. Maybe the parents watch the show. And I really find it hard to believe, Kenya, that your husband hasn't watched this show, but yet has formulated an opinion about how it portrays black women in a negative light. Shout out to Lena Waithe for saying that this sometimes is how we live. And that's one of the things that disturbs me at times about us as a people, is that we're always concerned about negative light. Well, guess what? This is real life. And for some people, this is how real people really act. I don't think that it's fair that we continue to repress who we are. Now, some of the stuff I've seen recently lets me know, yeah, you should definitely not, that whole Stephon Clark stuff, that's a hot mess, but that's a topic for a Diva Disturbed. She also did not tell Cynthia because she said Cynthia can't hold water. So y'all aren't best friends then. If you do not have a best friend that you cannot tell almost anything to, then that's not your friend. They talked about how she acted a fool with Shamea and the whole Houston thing, and how she slammed the door and or rolled the window up on Cynthia. And to me personally, if I was Cynthia, after I had saw where she said she don't have a thing to do with any of them bitches, she wouldn't be my friend anymore. I'm just saying. Marlo said that's just really sad that that you feel that way about your friend. You have to say that. I said, Marlo, shut up. Okay, I was just going over some of my Twitter notes and kind of going over some of the stuff I kind of missed about Kenya's story, because Kenya got so many things going on. But I do like the fact that when Andy was asking her about the fact that your husband has negative things to say about the show as it represents black women in a negative light, she said he doesn't feel that way. And then Andy was like, well, that's what he told me. And she just looked like, Marcus never told me that. Yes, he has. That's why he didn't want to be on the show. That's why he didn't want to make an appearance. But to save your job and your paycheck, he broke down and did it anyway. Then there was Sheree versus Kenya on nose ring versus piercing. I thought a piercing was any time you get a part of your body pierced. Sheree, like, I have lots of piercings. I have my ears pierced. I was like, a nose ring it's a nose ring. It's a piercing in your nose that's known as a ring. So Kenya, semantics. There's a lot of semantics going on in this show, in this reunion. So briefly, Nene and Portia, they've reconciled, they love each other, but Portia still feels some kind of way about Nene's having to say on Watch What Happens Live how she should have been fired from the show. Nene said, I never said you were fired. And everybody's looking like, girl, that's the same damn thing. I said she should be let go. So you know what Nene said? She's like, I said what I said. Okay. I was like, oh, Lord. And then Andy wouldn't leave her alone about their bun and their hair and how Marlo was saving her bun in San Francisco. It was hilarious. But either way, Kenya, it's a nose ring. And Nene, whether you directly said the word fired, but anytime you say someone should be let go, released, removed, those can all be considered synonymous words. I'm just saying, and that has been Grammar 101 with Miss Sophia the Diva. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Kenya also further kept going with the bullshit after she said that Cynthia, couldn't hold water, and then Andy, wanted to know really why. Well, at the end of the day, Kenya was saying, well, I've been too open with my relationships and it just wasn't working for me. So I just wanted to have mine private. No, what you don't want to get out too quickly is the fact that you paid Walter and you paid Matt and you possibly may be paying him. The majority of us on Twitter don't think that you're married. That's just a poll I can do right now off the bat. We don't think that you're married. We're all still looking for the certificate. She got married in St. Lucia. She told Sheree she would rather have a man with a piercing or nose ring or whatever than with handcuffs taking a jab at her. And he also wanted to know who did they think was going to get married next on the show. And then people were like, oh, Sheree's thinking about getting married. And then Sheree's like, And then Portia's like, oh, when he getting out? And she was like, well, he's having a hearing. Oh, so I'm getting married this year in 20. She said, I'm going to name it and claim. I'm seeing somebody. I was like, go ahead, Thelma, look yourself from Good Times. You better go, girl. I mean, I don't know if she was just saying it because it was in the moment, the right thing to take a jab at Sheree. Also, Kenya was like, so are you going to get married in a jail cell? I hate her and love her at the same time. Y'all be thinking, a lot of people probably really think I really do abhor Kenya. I don't completely, but I don't like the fact that she can't take ownership of her shit. Like, she can give you the bullshit all day long, clap on you, but she can't take the blowback when it comes, because then she wants to act like a little kid. Either way, girl, Kenya, the lies, they catching up to you. They catching up. They like hellhounds at your heels, okay? But anyway, I guess, Sheree is still holding on to this dream deferred of having a destination wedding. Then Kenya gonna tell Portia, don't rush it. I was like, I know you ain't telling nobody don't rush it. And this will be Portia's second marriage when she gets married. You just on your first as far as we know. But I'm with Portia, naming and claiming we gonna get married in 2018, girl. I don't know, because I guess I got a man. We can talk. We're going to talk about relationship dynamics during a Diva Live on Facebook Live. So we'll have to talk about that. Marlo comes on. There's controversy with Marlo versus Kenya. Kenya says she stopped being Marlo's friend when Marlo took it low when she talked about her own mother not wanting to be bothered with her. That was low. It sucks. It was inappropriate. Marlo did take it there. But the back and forth reads, she wouldn't even acknowledge him. Can you tell the girl over there in the yellow dress with the bad skin? And then Kenya was like, not with your struggle. What did she call it? Struggle face? Marlo also said that Kenya was a C character. Andy, the girl in the yellow dress with the bad skin, the struggle face. I was just like, Kenya, it ain't working. And then we get on the subject of Marlo going after Nene seconds. If you remember, after the divorce, Nene decided she was going to put herself back on the dating scene, and she got with some rich dude, some pizza owner place dude that bought her a pair of Louboutins. I remember that. His name was John, because Kenya said, ask her about John. And I was like, well, that's what Marlo works with is John's. That's a generic name. Oh, but y'all talking about somebody actually named John and not just a John. Okay. Either way, that got heated. We found out that Marlo got with him after Nene had gotten back with her husband and married. Nene felt some type of way about that. She didn't like it. Left a bad taste in her mouth. But whatever, honey. I'm surprised he even had $20,000 after I got done with it. So, needless to say, Kenya was claiming that Marlo had blackmailed him for like $20,000, and Nene, some kind of way, I was confused. Y'all, this episode, let me just say right now, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. It was a lot. It was a lot to cover, and I'm trying to keep it as condensed as possible and not make this a 30-minute video. She was like, Nene, come on now. You know that's my Neiman Marcus bill. And they were like, well, did you sleep with him? She was like, no. At some point, Kenya said, girl, you got a square reader between your coochie. You the only person I know that's, I said, you know what, between her legs. She didn't say coochie because she can't say that on TV. But she said between her legs. I said, wow, that's a good one. So I don't know how we should feel about, how would you feel? I know I wouldn't like it if my friend went behind me with some dude. Yeah, I'm not really into him anymore, but why would you? But either way, Marlo claims she did not sleep with him. I said, damn, I need to learn the ways of Marlo because I need to find somebody to just pay my Nordstrom bill and these student loans and my tax debt. Yeah, because state of California, why don't y'all repeal? Let us just pay the other taxes y'all want, like this high-ass sales tax. Don't that help the state out some? I'm tired of paying the federal government in the state of California. Y'all need to do better, California. Okay, anyway, let me digress and get back on subject because we got a lot more to cover. I just can't believe Marlo took over Nene's sloppy seconds. But she does have an LLC, Simply Marlo, which we're going to have to look up and see what the articles of incorporation or the bylaws, whatever it is that she's had to publish for, I don't know if it's registered in Delaware or the state of Georgia, but we're going to find out because I'm curious. What are you saying that Simply Marlo is about? Also, one more thing about Kenya before I continue plugging on. Kenya said that her episode, people said it was the best episode out of the entire series. Really? And then the girls, Nene kind of looked like, girl, I'm gonna let you have that, but okay. But, you know, I understand. Poor Kenya, you know, her mother just wasn't there for her, and thank God for Grandma. But apparently Grandma couldn't take the taint and the scars away from your own mother not wanting you when you know that your mother is sitting right there looking at you. That's the messed up part, is when you know who your mama is and she don't have nothing to do with you. And y'all know, back to Kenya and Portia real quick, Kenya started in on Portia before Kenya even knew Portia. And that's because you have insecure Kenya. Portia was young, beautiful. The census is in. My Twitter friends and I have all concluded, Candy, that you should let go and let God. Let God handle Portia. But I told Portia, don't ever expect Candy to quite ever let it go, because it took her almost 20 years, if you round, what was it, 18 years, but almost 20 years, let's say, rounding up, to forgive the girls and escape and to get back with them temporarily for a comeback tour. Maybe in the next decade, maybe in the 2020s, she will forgive you, Portia, and y'all can get back to being friends, because yes, Candy was very supportive of you. And I know that Phaedra seemed like a cool person to attach yourself to. But in some respects, like I keep saying, I think that Phaedra also got a raw deal just because Carlos King screwed her over too, because he fed her that information. He's not there to take the brunt of the hate that everyone is giving. Phaedra, she been looking good. Have y'all been following her on Instagram? I still follow Miss Phaedra on Instagram. She looks damn good. And they did say that she is one of the best. She had some of the best confessional reads. They gave her that. They also asked Kenya something about wanting a divorce too. I just thought about that. And I think she did say that because she was crying on the phone to her assistant, that's Brandon. And I remember that she said that he never said that. I said, I bet he did. He looked like the type that would be up front. Look, this shit ain't working. Everyone seems to think that Cynthia Bailey is a mannequin and she has to be controlled. She is easily manipulative, but she says that's not true. But Andy said, but baby, it keep coming up every time. So there's got to be some truth to it, basically. Oh, I got it now. Kenya said, after Marlo told her about her bad skin, for the life of me, I don't know why Kenya just can't take ownership of the fact that your skin is not clear. Mine's is not clear either. I suffer with adult acne, although it's not as bad since I got in my late 30s. But I mean, I had to go to a dermatologist. I tried Accutane for a month, but that really didn't work for me. It made me sick, like sick. Matter of fact, me and my dermatologist got into it. I no longer see him. I now see his PA, because I like my dermatologist. But he got mad because I told him, hey, I said, I think perhaps the dosage is too high. And I said, I was talking to some of my friends and they said that it may be the dosage. Most of their dermatologists started them off with 10 milligrams versus you starting me off with 40. And he was like, well, I did it based on your height and weight and age and da-da-da. And then he's like, are these people doctors? And I said, no, but they're lawyers. And don't forget, doctor, I also went to law school. I'm not licensed, but I know a little something. Either way, the skin thing, your skin isn't clear. Your makeup is often very beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. But, I mean, just let it go, girl. You got a struggle face, too. And then she took our hashtag, get a new face, Marlo. I was like, Marlo is flawless. I don't know what that heifer do or where she go to get her skin taken care of. But I don't know, was she in her 40s? Marlo looks good. She looks really good. Kandi, better not nobody say nothing bad about Mama Joyce, even when Mama Joyce is dead to right wrong. She done drug your husband. She done drug you and Carmen, everybody else, but you talk about my mama. I'm just like, Kandi, people are going to talk about your mom because some of the stuff she does is really ignorant. But I respect Mama Joyce. Really, this is the most this season because she gave you some great advice. Let Portia go. Leave that alone and just let it go. Give a dog a bone. Let it go. But I do think she was wrong for what she said about Todd. And if I was Todd, I would be hurt because, Todd lost his mom. And it seemed like after that, Mama Joyce really embraced him. I mean, he's the one that came up with the concept of old lady gang. Although Johnny said he did, but we don't believe that. Let it go. Todd had his own money. Kandi had her own money. They happy. They got that little cute little boy. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, Ace Wells Tucker is so cute. Oh, love that little boy. At some point, y'all got to let it go. She doesn't owe an apology to the entire group. It is a Kandi Portia issue. Just be careful what you say around her. But I honestly think that Portia has learned her lesson. But please just back off, Portia. Back. Give her 50 feet. I think that might be it. If I missed something, I would just cover it in part 2 at the top. At one point, I thought Sheree said her line was going to be She by Gucci, but I don't know. It was terrible. It was a terrible outfit. I think it's looking like Marlo's going to get a peach, and I'm willing to bet Eva will have a peach too. We'll see. We'll see. I think Eva will be good for the show, and I even think crazy ass Marlo will be too. I just didn't like how she did Portia. All I ask is that you calm down on Portia. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Ooh, but next week, ooh, drag, tarred, and feathered. It's gonna be Kim Zolciak on the show. My duckling. I'm like, how could you ever think that looks normal? And then they mad at Marlon Wayans today because he posted that picture about, no, we are not shooting another movie of White Chicks too. I was like, goddamn, she do look like one of their characters. And then Kroy gonna say, I hope that you wouldn't want a man to take a dig at your daughters. I'm like, I don't think their daughters would have sense enough to know when to stop going to the plastic surgery and getting plumping done. Kim just don't look right. That's what it is. Let's talk real quick about that and then we're out. Sheree and Kim and Roachgate. Sheree, stop being blind. Number 2, I thought you and Nene were in a good place, and you could have told Nene about that video. Even once y'all were out in Spain, be like, Kim got this video, but you had to wait and just let's see how things pop off. And it's like you just are blind to whenever Kim does it, and maybe that's why you don't have a peach. Maybe you can be tardy for the party now and be on her show, because it's true, Sheree. You pick and choose who you gonna check, and one of those people you are not gonna pick is Kim. Hell, are they paying some of your bills? I mean, what is going on? That's what I want to know. You need to hold Kim accountable like you hold everybody else accountable. I'm just saying. But that's it. So next week we'll get to see even more of that and how Sheree and all this is going to play out with Kim. But we do know at one point Kim walks off and cries like a baby and into her husband's arms. But that's all I got. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for supporting. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. You guys have been all that. And where's my purse?